It holiday means the end of the first quarter of this year is also ending. How was the demand for general insurance in the first quarter, and what are the most wanted products so far?
Okay, so I think I'm very happy to see also that we had the 8 holidays. Families went home, and for us this is always a very important time because it's also about safety and security, and that emphasizes why we are here. So the first quarter was basically characterized by a lot of holidays this year. We had New Year, then we had Chinese New Year, and then we had Ramadan. And traditionally these are the times when consumption is not so high. But nevertheless, I have to say it was a very good first quarter for us. We saw especially the demand in health insurance and property, on the motor side as well. So all in all, we have to say that it was as predicted. Normally markets during holidays are not as bullish as for the rest of the year. But for us as Sompo, I think it was a very good start.
How big is the growth in health insurance and property?
So I cannot give you now exact numbers on the quarterly growth, but we have seen already growth, especially in January. Whereas then February with Chinese New Year and Ramadan, normally the growth flattens out, especially coming then close to Eid al-Fitr. We see in the motor market that not many people buy cars during that time, so that flattens. However, in the health side and also on the especially corporate property market, the growth is more or less sustainable.
Do you think that health insurance and also property insurance will be the star for the rest 2025?
I think it's very hard to predict in general which line of business will be the star. But one thing what we observe for sure is the awareness of health and health insurance and health-related topics is very high. So we predict that health insurance is not only a growth motor for the year 2025, but also going beyond that. The property market is naturally linked to the economic development. It's majorly the corporate property market. We have seen a very good development so far, and hopefully, even with the very volatile markets now, we hope that this trend can continue throughout the year. On the motor market, we rather see a flat development, and that has also to do with consumer confidence. So we believe if consumer confidence is coming back, is recovered, then also the motor market, especially the individual motor market, will start growing again.
What are the growth factors that will have significant impact in the low purchasing power condition domestically?
So we have to see on which segment we talk about. One side is on the corporate segment, and the corporate segment is basically characterized by 2 criteria. One is the overall economic development of Indonesia. And here we see that compared to other countries, Indonesia is in a very good position. Also, I notice that Indonesians themselves are very critical often, but if I compare to other countries, back in Europe, for instance, then I have to say Indonesia's prospect is still very good. The other element is foreign investment on corporate insurance. So the more foreign investment comes in, of course, naturally the demand for insurance also grows. The second part is on the consumer side. And here we see that, especially on health, health is now driven by health awareness. And it's not so much driven by consumption confidence. So that is one reason why we believe that no matter how the consumer confidence develops, health will still see and continuous growth. On other lines, for instance, motor, there is the question, as a consumer, my question is, do I spend my money this year on buying a car, or do I spend it on something else, or do I rather withhold? And that decision will then also determine how the insurance market in that area develops.
In this situation of low consumer confidence, and how is the competition in the health insurance business?
I think we are having a market that experienced for quite a long time very severe and high competition. But we saw in 2024 already a consolidation. So we saw some major players exiting the group insurance market. That was mainly caused by a growing cost and a high price competition. But we expect that going forward, after the market consolidation, we will see that things come back into balance. After COVID, there was an imbalance in terms of cost against the premiums. So for many, many insurances, the premiums could not cover the cost, which was an aftermath of the COVID time. But going forward, I think that the market will stabilize. And that's why we are also positive, not only for short term, but rather mid-term and long term. We see that health is one of the very important and major products in Indonesia.